13, the new engine, was enjoying life on the island of Sildor, and he was making sure that all his jobs were done, even if it had to mean working into the evenings. 13 loved working on the island of Sildor and meeting so many engines. He even got to venture out a bit, pulling many goods trains or passenger trains. The passengers always liked seeing him. But of course, 13 needed proper training to be able to venture out of the big station, which 1020 helped him with. And in other news, the Fat Director repainted some of his engines in all the colors he wanted to see on the railway. Thomas, Edward and Gordon and Colin got repainted in a navy blue like 1020, and Henry was painted in blue to match Edward and Gordon, while Emily got a nice spiffy GNR green. All the engines loved their new coats of paint, but that couldn't be said for everyone who got repainted. Later that night, 13 backed up into the sheds at Knapford to see a very cheerful Thomas in his new coat of paint. Oh, well, good evening, 13. What's been new with you? Nothing much, Thomas. But wow, that new blue looks very smart on you. Oh, thank you. I love it. This is definitely better than the old blue I had. Blue is the only proper color for an engine. I've always been painted black. I wouldn't want to be any other color. Oh, be quiet, scowled Gerald. All this fuss over some paint jobs. I don't have time to look my best. I work in a very dirty quarry. Let a really useful engine sleep. Then be quiet, Gerald. You might wake him. Oh, piss off, Thomas. You should consider yourself lucky. While there's almost a whole team of engines working in the yards, there's no one helping me in the quarry. Well, Gerald, if you're feeling so overworked, maybe ask the Fat Director to get someone to help you. Pah! One of you incompetent fools? I'd never. So why are you complaining then? Be quiet, 13, you unlucky sod. No one likes you. Oh, pay no mind to him, 13. He hates himself. That's why he's so cross. He's always cross. Oh, shut up, Thomas. You guys should consider yourselves lucky. At least you got the paint jobs you wanted. Tyler tricked the workman into painting me like him. Oh, come on. You look really cute like that. Although, pity about your face though, we can't fix that. Oh, piss off already. I already look horrible. You don't need to insult me. Well, yes, we can all agree that Eagle looks absolutely atrocious, and that Gerald is a fucking asshole. Have you looked in a mirror recently, Thomas? Because the only ass I see here is you. You do like to talk a lot of crap. As you can see, the conversation soon got too uncomfortable for 13. Tyler's whistle is so shrill. Now I see what Thomas meant. But just then, before even 13 properly woke up, the Fat Director popped in. Good morning, engines. Oh, good morning, sir. How are you, sir? I'm well, 13, thank you. And I'm glad you're awake, actually, as I have some very important news to share with you. Now, Gerald, I have noticed that your work in the quarry has been well, and you clearly need some help. So, I have decided to trial 13 in the meantime to help you. No, I don't need his help. I can do it on my own. I just need a proper rest. Now, Gerald, really useful engines don't argue. But I will give you two options, and you see which one is better for you. Option 1 is either you accept the help and stay quiet, or the other option is sending you to work in the scrapyards while 13 handles the work in the quarry alone. So, what will it be, Gerald? Fine. I'll let him help me. Now that's a good engine. And all of you, continue with your regular work, and I just want to say that you've all been really useful. and the fat director walked away, leaving some tension behind. Well, well, Gerald, Thomas laughed. It seems that your words really did come bite you in the bunker. Frankly, I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon. Oh, shove it, Thomas. Shove it to hell. Oh, you'll never change. I don't know why you don't want me to help you. It's because you're bad luck. I'm not bad luck. Ever since I got fixed up at the works and got a new boiler, I've been very lucky, actually. Oh, you think you're lucky? Well, it will take more than luck to save you from those demon trucks in the quarry. Just you mark my words. Oh, don't listen to him, 13. He's just trying to bring you down. But anyways, bye-bye, 13, and good luck. You'll need it. Yeah, a bit smoother with those trucks. You'll spill the loads right out them. Oh, come on, lighten up, Gerald. Oh, yes, lighten up, Gerald, is all you have to say. Like I'm the problem. Be careful with those trucks or they'll peg you out. I know what I'm doing. I work in the yards, Gerald. I will be fine. 13 got straight to work, shunting, poling, and hauling trucks wherever they were needed. His experience in the yards immensely helped him, and he had no issues at all. But that was until later that day when he tried to place some trucks under the quarry chutes. Alright. Now let's get you guys sorted into place. But that was easier said than done. When 13 tried to move the trucks, they wouldn't go. Their brakes were hard on. Oh, come on, come on, come on! 13 panted, trying to move the trucks. When then there was trouble. After 13 was pulled out of the rubble, he was now feeling very sad, as the quarry manager and Gerald were very cross with him, and he was taking extra care to be very careful to not to get in any messes like that. 13 was moving a very long line of trucks, and he couldn't see properly behind him, which is why he didn't see Gerald sleeping in the sheds behind him. 13 was none the wiser, and the signalman didn't see anything, and then there was trouble. And with a proper batching, 13 gave Gerald a very rude awakening. Gerald was very cross, and 13, well, he was the most surprised out of all. Gerald was very cross. So, this is how you're helping me? Bashing me awake with trucks? I thought you knew what you were doing. I'm sorry, Gerald. I didn't mean to wake you up. Oh, please. You used that excuse so much today. It has no meaning at all. You know what? Just go to 1020 at Farquhar. I don't want to see your face around here until I arrive with my next train. And 13 skimpishly puffed away. That bloody engine giving me boiler aches all day. Don't be so sad, 13. Gerald is always like this. Hell, when I tried to help him in the quarry, he'd be exactly the same with me. Thanks, 1020, but I still feel really bad about it. I wish I could just prove myself to Gerald. Well, Gerald is very difficult to please, but a wise man once told me that being brave doesn't mean doing scary things. Being brave means knowing when to be brave. So if I'm brave, then Gerald will like me? Of course he will. Who else knows Gerald better than me? I've been working on him here on this branch line for a very, very long time. 13 didn't quite understand what Gen 20 meant when being brave was knowing when to be brave, but he thought he'd give it a try and made a plan. But before 13 could even finish his thoughts, Gerald came in with a goods train from the quarry. He was still feeling very riled up, and as he entered the yard, he was not in no happy mood. Alright 1020, here's your train from the quarry as promised. Now you take it to the junction like you said, and someone will pick it up. And you 13, you're coming back with me to the quarry. I do need your help there. It's very, very busy. Oh, okay Gerald, I'm coming. And 13 puffed away. In one of the sidings at the quarry resides a very grumpy hopper called Hector. He's very big, and he's very heavy, and he doesn't like to be moved at all. Gerald warned 13 to not get close to him, and 13 thought it would be a good idea to try and move him to prove to Gerald how brave he is. 13 was very anxious, and he slowly approached Hector, trying to look as harmless as possible. But Hector knew what he was doing. He roared loudly and said, "Keep away!" 13 jumped and leapt forwards very fast, bumping into Hector, sending him rolling right into the buffers. Hector hit into the buffers very hard, causing a massive shake and an avalanche. Rocks were falling everywhere. Finally, they seemed to stop, but they were completely covering the lines. Hector and 13 felt very silly indeed. When 13 crept up to the realization that he bumped Hector, he was very afraid. He thought Hector would gobble him up. But Hector seemed very sad. "I'm sorry I scared you. I didn't mean to." 13 was taken aback. "Oh, well, I'm sorry too that I bumped into you. Now we've caused this massive mess." 13! 13 looked back, only to see Gerald seeing red. He was as red as his paintwork. "What did you do, 13? 13 couldn't reply. He was tongue-twisted hard. Oh, the quarry manager is going to be furious when he sees this. You're done for now. What was that sound? 13 asked. Oh, that was the work whistle. That means we're done for today. But, assuming the mess you caused, the workmen will have to stay later to fix it. And Gerald went to go get them, while 13's heart sank, and he solemnly went to go join him. But, as fate would have it, rain fell upon the island of Sodor. It was very loud and very sharp, and all the engines were huddled in their sheds seeking shelter. But it fell really hard down at the quarry. Oh, God. Stupid rain. The quarry is gonna be a mess tomorrow. I really don't like rain. I hope it passes soon. What? Are you really scared of water? No, I'm not scared. Well, it seems to me you are.
Oh dear, look, poor old 13 is scared of some water from the sky. Maybe you'll hide in the tunnel like Henry. Once an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain.
I am not scared of the rain. I quite like it. I just don't want to get my paint wet is all.
13's probably so scared of the rain, he's squeaking his brains.
I'm not scared at all, thank you very much. But I know a story that will scare you. Have you ever heard of the tall tale of Nicholas? The tall tale of what now? So the engine doesn't know? Well, I might as well tell you now. Back before you first came to the railway, there used to be another small black tank engine that used to work in the yards at the big station. And his name was Nicholas. Nicholas was nice to all, and all were nice to him, and he never had problems with anyone. Well, where is he now? What happened to him? Well, I used to know him in my earlier days on this island, until one fateful day, he left us. He was involved in a homicide accident, and I'm sorry to say that he was never seen again. And legend says that on the date of his fateful accident, that he plunges into the night, shrieking like a lost soul. So 13, tell me, how did you like the story? It was good, Gerald. Really loved the spooky tale. Anyways, I think it's getting really late. We should go to sleep. Okay. Just be careful the ghost engine doesn't get you. Gerald chuckled as he drifted off to sleep, leaving 13 with a lot to think about. Where am I? Oh, I'm in my shed. My nice shed. Oh, Gerald, why are you up so early? Do we already start work? Oh, sorry I woke you up, 13, but yeah, we should start around now. Oh, but I feel so weak. I feel so ill today. Oh, Gerald, I'm so sorry to hear. It's fine. I just don't know who'll take my first train for the day. Well, I can take it. No, you won't take it. I'll just wait till I steam up properly. Oh, come on, Gerald. Don't be like that. I can take it. Fine. I suppose you can take it. The train will be waiting for you at Farquhar. Great. Alright, I'll go pick it up now. Bye, Gerald. I have a very bad feeling about this. It didn't take long for 13 to pick up his train and swiftly make his way to the junction to leave his train for another engine to pick up. The rain from last night had thankfully died down, but the island was still stuck in a grim, cloudy state. But 13 didn't mind. It wasn't too dark and he could still see. 13 passed the old cottage where he had his accident. He was thankful to see that there were no obstacles on the line. At least, there wasn't any. As 13 rounded a corner, he was surprised to see that there was something on the line. He sharply applied his brakes and quickly stopped before he hit the thing. When 13 looked closer, he noticed that it was the signal that had fallen over onto the tracks. He didn't know how it got there, but it didn't matter, as soon more problems came down the line. Just up the line, there's a signal box that's accompanied by an old crossing gate, which is known by 1020 in jail to be very finicky. Sometimes they have to wait a very long time for it to finally open. But this day, it would never open. The signalman was already having problems opening it, as he was expecting 13 to pass by. He was trying and trying, but he couldn't. The storm and the fallen signal had shut down all the signals and crossings on the line. But there was more trouble to come, as Tyler was going down the line, taking a maintenance train he had offered to take for Emily, as she was feeling ill. As he was approaching the gates, he was expecting them to open for him. Oh, there are the gates. The signalman should open them soon. But the gates stayed shut. Okay, I'm getting real close here. They should open soon, but they didn't open. Driver, apply the brakes! But it was too late. Poor Tyler. He had crashed right through the gates and held a piece of them on his buffers. Oh, get this silly thing off of me, he complained. But there wasn't any time to, and he had to continue on even with the gates on him. He wasn't happy at all. When Tyler arrived at Farquhar, he already found Gerald berating poor 13. He explained what had happened and well, whoever mad Gerald was, he was even madder at that moment. God damn it, 13! This is all your fault! How is this my fault? It's not my fault the gate didn't open. Yes, it is. Everything was going fine until you came along. And then suddenly, we have engines crashing through gates. We have a holy hell raining on us. And everything is just going wrong because of you. I am out of here. And he stormed off, leaving a very sad 13 behind. Does he always talk to you like that? Yes, but it was never this bad. Well, you can't let him do that. I know. Still, I'm just not that type of engine to stand up for myself, 13 sighed. But 13 didn't need to do anything, as when Gerald came to the quarry, he bumped the trucks hard, and finally, the trucks had enough. Come on, barked Gerald. He was still very angry, and the trucks were too, and they devised a plan to pay him out. And then, just as they were exiting the quarry, push! The trucks pushed Gerald out of control. Now he couldn't stop. They were pushing him faster and faster. Gerald didn't want to go farther. He wanted to slow down, but the trucks didn't let him. He raced over bridges and raced down the line at tremendous speeds. But then, 13 was on the same line as Gerald. Get out of the way, Gerald cried. 13 quickly puffed away, but it didn't matter. Gerald quickly whizzed by, and before they knew it, Gerald caught up. Help, save me, please. I'm trying, panted 13. Then, Gerald and 13 were both diverted onto a disused line, and then it happened. Oh, thank goodness, we stopped at last. Not the place I'd want to stop, but at least we stopped at all. Right, 13? 13 had nothing to say at all. After 13 was pulled out of the water and cleaned up, he sadly made his way home. When he got there, he only found Emily and Thomas there. Hello, 13. Why do you look so sad? Emily asked. Yeah, what's wrong with you? Thomas pondered. 13 explained everything that happened, and by the time he finished, Thomas and Emily felt really bad for him. Oh, 13. I'm so sorry that happened to you. You were really brave to manage to stop the train, though, even though you did crash. I agree. Oh, but that Gerald is so rude sometimes. But then suddenly, a grin appeared on Thomas's face. You know, 13, speaking from experience, Gerald should be getting an earful from the fat director right about now. So, at least it isn't a complete loss, Thomas laughed. I probably shouldn't be happy about that, but I am. I think Gerald deserves that, don't you?